Did you want to be part of it?
Can I not? Okay.
You could definitely be a part of it.
Let's redo
No,
it.
be a part of it. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just do you know it?
Yeah.
Yeah. In 3, 2, 1.
Shit.
Here we go again.
Shut the fuck up.
And just like that, if you're hearing that, you already know what time it is. Welcome back to episode 6 of the SUSU podcast, aka Speak Up or Shut Up. Special guest on today's episode.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
We got Rawbeauty.
Glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. And you know me, I'm Darko, and we have
Remy.
And yeah, welcome to episode 6. A lot to talk about, not a lot to talk about. Again, the podcast about nothing. Let's just jump right into it. We want to start with the get to know you questions?
Yeah, I got a funny one here, I think. I don't think it's that funny, actually. Sorry. I'm reading it back. I'm
This
like,
is actually stupid.
Would you feel worse if no one showed up to your wedding or to your funeral?
Wow, that's a big one. Wedding. I mean, if I'm dead, I'm
Yeah,
dead.
I was just gonna say, like
I'm not
it's
gonna
my
be able to
funeral.
feel anything. So wedding, definitely.
Yeah, wedding. The funeral, you're dead.
I ain't gonna get married, so just don't show up. I want people to. I'm gonna be looking down on everybody that I know, and I'm like, you fucking cry for me. Like, I
Facts.
want to see
Facts.
that. Like, people better show up to my funeral. Like, come on. I'm not having a wedding.
Fuck
I'd rather
yeah.
people not show up to my wedding because I'm not having one. So.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I feel like the funeral, like
I'm vain. I want to see everyone care about me, be sad about it that I'm dead.
and I ain't never come back, bitch.
I agree. I want you guys to be snot-nosed, eyes red as shit, like ugly crying over me, like, oh my gosh, she's gone. Like, yeah,
That's how. Okay, fine. Funeral. Okay, I can see the appeal of the funeral, but like unless you are still in the earth realm as your funeral is experiencing, that's the only way that you could see the people. If not, you're gone already. You're on to the next life. Then like, I don't know. But yeah, I guess, yeah, I can see the appeal of both for sure. I can definitely see the appeal of both. We have another one?
Yeah. Would you rather be a kid your whole life or an adult your whole life?
Kid.
That one's easy.
That's, yeah, a no-brainer.
I don't know.
Responsibilities?
I didn't like my childhood.
Okay,
you know
okay,
what?
okay.
I love being an adult. It's hard as fuck. But like, I feel like the way that I view the world is obviously so different than when I was a kid. And like, people can be like, yeah, you don't have any stress when you're a kid. I'm like, I feel so much less stress that I have more control over my life and I can control the shit that is shitty than I did when I was a kid. So 100% adult.
Okay, if we're using our own childhoods, then maybe, yeah, adult. But if we just got like a clean slate and you got to choose if you were a child or adult, I would pick child. But if we're using our own childhoods, I'd probably have to pick adult because I like who I am. I like who I am.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, as a child, I had it good. I didn't have
Nothing to complain about. Yeah.
nothing to complain about. So, I mean, other than like bullying and stuff like that, but like,
Who the fuck bullied you? Give me names.
bro.
Drop their ats right now.
Fucking tell me right now. Would you rather be stuck on an island alone? Okay, words. Stuck on an island alone, or with someone who talks incessantly?
Alone.
Someone who talks, because when you're on an island alone, like, especially if you are
Incessantly.
Yes, but okay, but at least you
Operative word.
have human contact, because it's proven that if you do not have human contact for long periods of time, you go crazy. At least there's a human there with you. You can walk away at any time and then, go on a little walk on the island, come back, and they're still talking. That's fine.
Think about Shrek.
Think about Shrek. I'm thinking Shrek 1, 2,
lived
3.
in a swamp by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then Donkey came along and he talks a lot and they ended up being best friends. Life got good.
All right.
Shit happened. I would
When-
probably pick someone that talks a lot too.
When in doubt,
Shrek it out.
Shrek. Whoa.
Is that what you were going to say?
I wasn't, but I like that.
That's a bar.
I like that,
That's
though.
a bar.
When in doubt, Shrek it out.
Period.
Period. On
Okay.
everything. On God. Yeah, no, I'm still picking alone. I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to love it. and I'm gonna make friends with the trees and the little ants and the crabs that are gonna pinch my ass.
What?
The crabs on the island. Come on. Whatever. Oh, haters. Haters.
Would you rather work more hours per day but fewer days, or work fewer hours per day but more days?
Wait, what?
That was
So like,
confusing.
would you rather work more hours per day? So let's say you work an 8-hour day. And let's say it's like 3 days a week. But then, or would you rather have that sprawled out for like a couple hours a day, like 5 days a week?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think more hours a day, but fewer days. Like if I
Yeah.
have to do like 8 hours, like only like I don't know 2 times a week, and then the rest of the week I'm free. Yeah, I'd rather do that.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't want to work more days.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, give me like, yeah, one day I come in, work like 12 hours, whatever. Next day, another 12 hours.
Yeah.
But then I have, more days off. Yeah.
We talked about this before, but with my ADHD, like if I know I have to like do something, whether that's like a 9 to 5 job or like I have an assignment or a project, or I know like somebody's like coming over to visit like later on in the day or something, I'm literally paralyzed and I can't do anything until I get that done.
Yeah.
So I would hate to do that like 5 days a week. So like knowing I could just work 8 hours, 2 days, and then the rest of my week is free. Yeah, I would choose that 100%.
110%.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
That's all I got.
Okay. This is perfect. We're going to quickly talk about the Whipple tickle.
Oh, yeah.
For those who don't know what the Whipple tickle is, it was what the G-spot was almost called.
Almost. So it wasn't called that.
It wasn't called. It was almost called the G-spot.
Wouldn't it be fun if it was called that? Like, oh my god, you need to hit my Whipple tickle.
Just spitting bars in the bedroom.
I mean, it would make sex more fun.
It would definitely add an element of comedy. Comedic. It would definitely add a comedic.
I feel like people take sex too seriously. Like, I think you are allowed to laugh during sex.
Yeah.
Definitely laugh.
Like,
during
you
sex.
should. I feel like it should be. You should laugh.
Don't laugh at each other. But
I feel
laugh
like it
too.
has the name has the same energy as Gooch.
Yeah.
There's something
Definitely,
about Gooch that
definitely.
just really sets me off.
So let me just read this quickly here. So we have sexologist and professor Beverly Whipple discovered I can't read. The zone we know today as the G-spot. She has spent years studying female sexuality and helping women improve their sex life through education. The G-spot was one of these educational tools. It was discovered in 1982 with some assistance from her colleagues, John Perry and Alice Kahn Lattice.
So, did they like fuck? Because you said, because it says helped by the colleagues, and then it mentioned a man and a woman. So I'm assuming that like they had some sort of experiment.
Here we have. Hold on. Dr. Whipple, however, humbly declined, but her reasoning was not due to the name. She declined because she felt she was merely furthering research started by someone else. You see, in 1950, someone else suggested that the front of the vagina wall, there was a erogenous zone. I can't read again. Erogenous.
No, thanks.
The look on his face, like, fuck you guys, whatever.
Educated, okay.
Yeah, I'm not. And I'm the one, and I'm wearing fake glasses. That's why. It's a fake smart. When stimulated, would trigger a female orgasm and female ejaculation. The person was German scientist Dr. Ernest Grafenberg. So that's why it's called the G-spot. It's named after Dr. Ernest Grafenberg. G-spot, last name G-spot.
That's crazy.
Studying over 400 women showed that a sensitive area at the top of the vagina in the 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock area exists and increases in size when a woman is aroused. G-spot.
Can I say something?
Of course.
For any vagina people havers that are listening.
Vagina havers, yeah.
Yeah, vagina owners, uterus havers. If you have never experienced a G-spot orgasm, my best advice for you is to explore. And that moment where you feel like you're going to pee and you tell your partner or you stop yourself, don't stop. Telling you, just keep going. You'll hit it. And then once you do, it's so much easier to like hit it again. Like your body's just like, oh, it's there now. I know it's there. I don't know how to explain it. It just once
No,
it's
you're doing a good job.
once it's there, it's there. Yeah.
Once you experience it, it's easier to experience it again. 100%. But yeah, that's the G spot. Dr. Whipple and Dr. Grafenberg just coming together and being like, this is the pinnacle of female orgasm and ejaculation.
Isn't it crazy that it took that long to figure it out? Like we're still learning about like that anatomy, that like there's still so much information coming out that people don't know.
Mainly men, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like even scientists and women, like there's so much we don't know about our bodies still, and even the information that is out there, it's so hard to like get.
This is facts. Yeah. These are all factuals.
Can I talk about that story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, to start off, the past like year and a half, 2 years that I've been living with my sister, I always buy gnocchi.
Yeah.
And I make it and then I eat it and I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. Every time. And I think it's just the way that I'm making it. But then my sister will eat it and she'll be like, oh, like this is really good. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And the last time this happened, I think it was about like a month and a half ago, I made it and she's like, you know what? I think you just don't like gnocchi. And I was like, you know, I think you might be right. Like, I really want to like it.
Yeah.
I just thought I wasn't making it right, but you seem to love it every time.
Yeah.
And so does everybody else who like comes over when I make it. I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. I think I just don't like gnocchi. Okay. So I found this TikTok of this person explaining, this is all going to align together.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
She was explaining how she was brought up in a very religious home. And she has ADHD. She just got diagnosed with it. And she just came out in the past like few months as a lesbian. And before she said that like she assumed that she liked men and she didn't really have any idea because it was probably, you know, part of like being in a religious home on top of having ADHD and what we would call masking for people who are neurodivergent, which is putting yourself out there in like as like a neurotypical person, even though you're neurodivergent and you're doing very neurotypical things and societal things, like things that are expected, like, you know, like women love men. And that's just kind of built on that. Right. So going off of that, my sister and I, like, I'll talk to a guy on Tinder and like this one guy, for example, he texted me, he's like, oh yeah, like I send my brother voice memos, like, or voice notes in text when I really miss him. I love him so much. And I'm like, I show my sister, I'm like, ew, like I get the ick from that. And I'm like, why am I getting all these, like I do that to my sister when I miss her. Like I send her voice memos all the time. Why is that giving me the ick that this other guy is telling me that about his relationship with his brother? I don't understand this. And I get icks about men 24/7. Like there's not, and it's so much worse now than it was in the past. And I was like, you know, I think I'm very more leaning towards women lately. Like I think I'm 90-10 towards women. Wow, like 90% women at this point than men. Like I really cannot stand men at this point. And my sister was like, you know what? I think it's like the gnocchi situation where you really think you like it and you keep trying it. But it turns out you really don't fucking like it. And I was like, that is so fucking true. I never thought of it that way. Men are like gnocchi for me. And I think I just keep trying to make it better and try new recipes.
different sauces.
Different dicks. Yeah. Just going to go and say that. But it's just not working for me. So yeah, that's the story.
Men are like gnocchi. I like that. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're able to come to that realization, and it came to you in the kitchen. It came to you through your culinary adventure, and you're able to realize.
I don't think I was cooking at the time, but I was definitely.
You were in the kitchen. Culinary endeavor.
Yeah.
Culinary endeavor. Yeah, you probably weren't cooking, but
yeah.
Through the culinary endeavor, you were able to come to the realization. Remy is now 90-10. Pete Davidson, I'm sorry.
I mean.
All right, put a pin in that one.
Okay.
Okay, quickly before we go into the Triple O story, and Rawbeauty has some stories for us today that are going to be some good conversation starters, I know. Quickly, on last week's episode, Remy was talking about how the idea that everything happens for a reason doesn't always hold up, right? In the way that how Remy was saying that, like as a child, the person didn't need to be stronger; they needed to be protected. So it's like the trauma that was caused to to the child. Remy just spilled her Slurpee on the couch. The trauma that was caused to the child, yeah, like the child didn't need that at that moment. They definitely just needed to be protected. And I feel like the only thing I wanted to add to that, because I felt like I just wasn't there for some reason, is that, yeah, if we were able to start teaching emotional intelligence and teaching children how to verbalize emotions at a young age, I feel like it would make for more well adapted children instead of adults that are trying to heal their trauma from their childhood. And yeah, and I like honestly, I would like when I have kids, I feel like that's my goal. I don't want like I mean, I probably will give them trauma like subconsciously without even knowing it, but like consciously I'm going to try to teach them about like emotional intelligence and just yeah, being able to verbalize their emotions so that yeah, they're not like us where we're like in our 20s and like just going through bullshit because of like the trauma that we experience as children.
I think just having an open space in your home when you have children to
Mhm.
freely express themselves, like you're saying. And the biggest one, I think we have talked about this before, but as parents, I think it's really important to admit when you are wrong.
Yes.
Um, like, even if it's just like an in the moment thing and you realize, like, it's okay to like say, hey, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have raised my voice. I shouldn't have acted this way, and I'm apologizing for it. And I hope that if I ever like, hurt your feelings this way, or if
Mhm,
there's
mhm.
something that you don't like that I'm doing, like tell me that. Like it's good to have those open spaces, not just in your relationships, but with your children.
Yes.
Like it's extremely important. And I think you being like, oh, I might project some trauma onto them. Like, yeah, but you even having that mindset of not wanting to and like wanting to have that open space and um, that honesty in a home, I think is going to be a clear example of like who you are going to be as a father. Like
Yeah.
like it's going to be very
That
hard
makes
to
sense.
release
That
trauma
makes
onto
sense.
your child when you have that mindset.
Yeah, where like every action I'm like overthinking it, like well, like in a good way, like
Yeah.
overthinking the action because I don't want what comes out of my mouth to cause the child
Yeah,
harm.
exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I like that. Yeah, no, I just wanted to quickly add that because like yeah, on last week's episode I felt like you were bringing up really good points, and I like zoned out for whatever reason. I like
It
wasn't,
happens.
yeah, and I like wasn't saying what I wanted to. So I'm glad I was able to say that. But yeah, teach emotional intelligence is the way to go. If y'all learn emotional intelligence, I feel like the world would be better off. All right, now I think it's time to get into these story times. These story times. Do you want me to quickly do the triple O story, or do you want to start with one of the Mandems and then I will do the story, and then we'll start with you because I feel like Rawbeauty hasn't talked and we need to get the story out. She's a great storyteller. And Rawbeauty, take it away. You can start with any three Mandems that you want.
Okay. I'll probably start with the most recent one. Mr. Respect Me.
Yeah.
Hey, get me.
Mr.
Right.
Respect Me, exactly. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. This is story
Right.
time with Rawbeauty.
So, we're talking about dating, right?
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
So first of all, I drove over an hour to meet this guy. He didn't even try to like meet halfway or anything. Like
Yeah.
I did all the work, and come to find out, like we were at the restaurant that we went to at the little bar. It was literally like 5 minutes away from his house. So, right. So, but I didn't know that at the time.
Remy's face says it all.
Right. So then,
We're
okay.
just getting
So
started.
I get there, and I waited like half an hour, like 20 minutes outside. First of all, the restaurant was packed, and like it was COVID, so like they were like, I don't know what they're doing. The turnover time was really long. So I finally get inside, and then he gets there, and then because there's the little dividers in the restaurants,
Yeah.
I was sitting on the booth side and he was sitting on like the chair side. But when he came in, he tried to force a hug. And I'm like, sir, there really isn't any room for us to do this interaction. Okay. But like, yeah. So then we forced this weird, awkward hug. And then he was like, okay, so we got our drinks. And every time we got a new drink, he would want to cheers to something. And I'm like, we don't have to cheers to
every drink.
To every, like literally every drink. I think we had 3 drinks and literally every new drink he wanted to cheers to something. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what this is like.
Remy's trying so hard not to laugh.
It's okay. You can laugh.
Yeah,
like it's funny. This day wasn't that good. Like, but yeah, so then and the entire time, so I'm like, oh, so like tell me about yourself, like da da da. So we go back and forth. We're telling each other about ourselves, our likes, dislikes. And he would like say things that would like contradict himself. Like he would be like, oh, like I'm a good boy or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I would tell him that I have like 3 older brothers and like I don't really like go out partying that much. I don't really drink like that. He's like, oh, and like I also told him that I believe in God and stuff. And so he was like, oh, so like you're, like you're a good person, whatever. And I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not too crazy either. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good. And then like 5 minutes later, he'd be like, I'm a bad influence. You get me. Like I'm a bad influence. And I'm like, and I was just like, sir, you just said 5 minutes ago that you were a good boy. Like, what the heck? And then I found out that he was drinking since that morning. Like he had an entire bottle of wine in the morning. And then I was like, you've been drinking all day? And he was like, I just like to have fun, I'm very spontaneous. Da, da, da. And I'm like, oh yeah, like what do you like to do? He's like, like just last week, I met this girl on Instagram and we went to Alberta together for like a week. I'm telling you, I don't know. Remy left.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like,
I said, I told you, that's what I'm saying. This is why I had to tell the stories. I said, every time I tell people about her stories, I say, she needs to be here to tell the stories in person because she knows how to tell them. All right.
Yeah, so then I'm like,
go ahead.
So then after I was like, okay, like, wow, that's really, he's like, yeah. I'm like, did you know her from her? No. We literally just met that week and we just went. And I was like, what the, like you're flying people out now? Like, what is this? And then, so then at the end of the day, we finally leave. And the entire time he's making comments about like my age and stuff like that. He's like, oh, so like, are you a virgin? I'm like, and then like, he's asking me like really blunt questions. And then he was like, and he's like, oh, and then he's like, how old are you? I'm like, oh, I was 21 at the time. So I was like, oh, I'm 21. And he was like, oh yeah, are you sure? Like, you look really young. I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if I'm telling you I'm 21, I'm 21. Like, I don't know what year. He's like, well, show me your ID. And then I was like, and then he was asking me to show him his ID so that, and then he said, oh, I want to see your ID to know if I'm allowed to kiss you or not. Because he didn't believe that I was telling him that I was 21. And then at first I was going to show him my ID, but then I was like, nah. Like, I ain't trying, like, like everything is on there, all my information, my whole government name is on there, like address. Yeah. So I was like, maybe not. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to show you my, and at that point, until up until that point, my wallet and my phone were on the table. And as soon as he said that, I took my wallet and my phone and I was like, nah. And I put it behind me. I was like, you're not. So then, and then when I got up, I was like, yeah, let's leave. I'm gonna just go to the bathroom and then we can go. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, that's a good thing that you're getting up because it'll give me a chance to check you out. And I was like, okay, like, and then literally, and I got up and literally he did not care. He was just eyeing me up and down, like looking at my ass.
You're wearing the long jacket, right?
Yeah, good thing I was wearing a trench. Yeah, so I when I got up, I put my trench coat on. I was like, you ain't seeing shit. Like, what the heck? And then, so we were walking, and then he's like, I was like, yeah, I have to go home. Like, I don't have necessarily a curfew, but it's a long drive. Like, I have to, I have to drive over an hour to get back home, so I have to go. And he was like, no, like, let's just stay out a little bit longer, like, And I was like, no, like, I'm the one driving home, like, so I need to go home. He was like, no, let's walk for a couple more minutes. I'm like, let's walk. He's like he points to the direction of his house, which I didn't know at the time. And he's like, let's walk that way. And I was like, okay, sure. What's that way? He's like, I don't know. Let's just walk. And I was like, okay, sure. So we're walking, and then he grabs my hands, and we're walking hand in hand. And I'm like, okay. So then we're walking, and we pass by this little like bakery, and the setting outside, they had little like chairs outside and everything, and the lights and all the cakes in the display. I was like, this is such a cute place to take a picture. So I'm like, can you take a picture of me, please? And he was like, yeah, I'll take a picture. So then I take my trench coat off, and then he was like, oh yeah, like he's spitting on his game or whatever. And then and then so he takes a picture of me, and then after I'm like, okay, thank you. And he's like, oh, take a picture of me too. And I'm like, that gave me the ick. Like, I don't know why. Like, I was like, I don't know why. Like I feel like it's okay for a girl to ask for pictures because girls are just known to do that. But he was like, yeah, make me look good too, make me look tall in the picture. You get me, like make me look tall in the picture. And so I was like crouching down. He's like, yo, get low, make me look tall. I'm like, bro. Like, it was a hot mess. So then after that, after we're done taking your pictures, I was like, okay, now I have to go home. Like, let's go. Yeah. And then he was like, and as we were about to keep on walking, he stops this random guy and is like, yo, buddy, can you take a picture of us, please? And I was like, we're not even a couple. Like, I literally just met you today. And so this guy, like, awkwardly was like, oh, yeah, sure. So now we're taking pictures together. And then we took a picture together. He's like, oh, let's keep walking. I'm like, nah. Like, you can walk me in my car, though. That's where I'm walking, whether you like it or not. And he was like looking at me like, yo, like, you need to respect me, Like, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm not saying anything disrespectful or anything. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you where I'm going. You can go that way, or you can come with me.
I'll tell you where I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah. So then after I was like, he's like, and then he's looking at me like, oh, why are you being like that? Like, I'm not being anything. I'm telling you, I have to go home. So I'm going home. Like, you can come with me. I'm going to walk. I started walking, and he's standing there. I'm like, you can either come with me, you can walk in my car, or you can go home. I'm not going to be mad. I don't care. Like, so then he's like, finally, he's like, no, I'm a gentleman. I'm not going to leave you, walking, I'm going to walk you to your car. I'm like, okay, bet, let's go then. Yeah, literally he's bitching about it. And he's like, oh, I'm a gentleman, blah, blah. I'm like, I walked from here. First of all, I walked here by myself. I can walk back by myself. Yeah. So then we finally get to my car. And then I realized that because I don't have data, so I have to load the Wi-Fi. I have to load my GPS, like where I have Wi-Fi, and I forgot to do that before leaving the restaurant. And I remembered that we passed the Starbucks. Like, it wasn't even that far. It was maybe like just like literally around the corner from where my car was parked. Yeah. So then I was like, oh shoot, like I don't have Wi-Fi. I was like, can you hotspot me? He's like, no, I finished all my data today. I was like, okay, fine, but I'm gonna walk back to the Starbucks so that I can have my GPS. And he was like, and then after he was like, oh, I'm not coming with you, like blah blah. I'm like, that's fine, like you already walked. Yeah, I was literally like, go home. Like, if you don't want to be here, just go home. Like,
it's already been established.
And then right, and then after he was like, so why are you doing me like that? Like da da da. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. So I finally got the Wi-Fi, and he was like, oh, can I kiss you, whatever. I was like, no, like I don't feel comfortable with that. Like, I'm just gonna go home. And then after he's like, wait, come back, and he kept on pulling me to him and stuff like that. And at one point we were like chest to chest, and I'm like trying to push him off me. I'm like, I'm not gonna kiss you, like relax. And he was like, no, I'm not even trying to force myself on you, but like, come on. And he was like, why are you doing me like this? But like, I'm older than you, right? I'm like, yeah, and what's your point? He's like, I'm just telling you, you need to respect me, you need to respect me. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm not respecting you. Like, I'm giving you my boundaries, and you're not respecting them. So lost. Clearly you're just disrespecting me. Like, I was like, what? Like, it was just a whole mess. And at the end, he left mad. He's like, I'm older than you. You should respect me. Respect your elders. Da, da, da. Like, I have to tell you guys that he's Nigerian. So like, African men are very like, just, they have this like, I don't even know, like, God complex almost. Like, it's really weird. Like, so he was the entire time, he's like, you need to respect me, I'm older than you, like da da da. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Man is lost. Like, but then he left mad. He's like, oh, he left mad. And then I was like, all right, you can go, bye. And then in my car, I was driving home, I was laughing so hard. I was like, this man is crazy. But yeah, so that was the first one.
That's thoughts, Remy. I need some thoughts here. I need thoughts on this. I've already heard this story.
I probably would have fucking laughed in his face and left the moment he said, "Oh yeah, I'm a good boy." But then I really would have left when he was like, "I'm a bad influence." Like, fuck out of here. That's my first red flag when like, and so many men do this in my experience is like say one thing and totally contradict themselves the next like sentence that they say. And it's like, who are you really? Like, who are you trying to be in this moment?
What is the truth? Yeah.
Like, you're like 3 different people on this date, and I don't like any of them. Like,
you tried 3 times, and
tried
every time
3 times, it didn't fucking work.
No.
You're out. You're out.
Damn.
When men, if you have to push yourself on somebody, and you're like, I'm not trying to force myself. If they say no once, you are now sexually assaulting somebody.
Big fact.
Like, you are sexually assaulting somebody. If they said no once and you continue to do it, you have sexually assaulted somebody. And I'm sure that 97% of men have done this, probably more. And I'm probably calling somebody out or multiple people out who are listening to this. Literally, fuck you for that. Fuck that guy. That is so disappointing. I just have no fucking patience. I would fucking go to jail. Like, I would stab a fucking man if he tried that on me now. Like, don't even fucking don't try me. That whole date pissed me the fuck off. I'm so sorry you went through that.
It was actually really awkward because when we were like chest to chest, like there was mad people like looking like if I was okay, and I was like trying to push him back, and people were like looking like, yo, is she okay? And I was like, bro, you need to move, like back away. Like, it was weird.
The best thing that I love to say to men when they're being like that is like, you're being creepy as fuck. Men hate being called creepy. They don't want to be called creepy. It doesn't matter how creepy they know they're being. As soon as like someone's like, ew, you're being creepy. Like, you're being gross.
Yeah, man.
Like, men, why would you want to be? Yeah, like,
yeah,
it's creepy as fuck. Don't be a fucking creep. Also, this complex that he has is very much pedophile vibes.
Sure.
Men who want very submissive women. We talk about this multiple times. And like, respect your elders. And are you a virgin? Get the one, none of your fucking business.
Yeah, why is that?
I'm not going to tell you so you can get off on it, even if I was. Like, that's so creepy.
Why is that a
that
topic of
whole
conversation?
guy was a red flag.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, baby, next time you go on a date, put an earpiece in. I want to be with you the whole time.
She'll be in the van. You'll be in the van.
Please, I'll drive an hour with you and I'll sit in the booth next to you. I'll wait in line with you. And then when a guy starts fucking around, I'll be like, hey, you look cute. You want to come sit with me, baby? You come sit over on my chair.
That's when she shanks
Really
him.
just fuck him up. Just shit on his ego. Make him feel like a piece of shit. Yeah, that's wild. You have more stories like this?
Literally all of my dates are like this.
Remy is for hire. Women, Remy is for hire.
I will be your backup. I don't mind. That's my favorite thing to do. I always miss out on shit like this. Like, my sister tells me stories, just like random incidents, like just like with friends or like randoms, or like she'll be out and I'm like, why was I never there? Or even with our parents. Oh, you tell me. What's your story?
No, I literally just remembered this one. Like, this is not a story that I was going to tell, but I'll do this one before the last big one. It was me and my friend. We were at a bar, and this guy, it was like this older woman and her brother. They were there, and they just, I don't know, like clinged to us like the entire time. I guess because we were having fun, just me and my friend. And we're loud, like we don't give a fuck. Like, we're gonna like dance, we're gonna like scream, like whatever. And yeah, and so then I guess the girl that was there was like, she wanted to hang out. So we're like, yeah, like whatever. It's one night, like sure. Yeah. And then it turns out that she was there with her brother, and we're like, okay, cool. So now this is a foursome. So then we're talking, drinks are flowing, whatever. And then at the end of the night, he's like drunk, they're all drunk. Yeah. And then like he like, we're standing at like the foyer, like almost of the club, and he like leans, like there's like a brick wall, like a stone wall that's right there, and he like leans towards me, like trying to like chat me up and stuff, and I'm like, no. And then at some point, because he's drunk, he tries to like put his hand on the wall and like trying to lean in. You know how guys do that thing? Yeah, he tried to do that, missed the wall.
Oh man.
Fell onto me. And I fell into the wall, and my whole like bag and my arm like scraped against the like the stone wall. And after that, like literally went like he was going to actually like fall on top of me. Like, we were about to both hit the ground, but I like I like stopped myself. Yeah, I like ducked under him so like I wouldn't like fall. And then my friend was literally just watching. She, as soon as she saw him tumbling, like going down like a fucking tree in the forest, like she like got up, like 'cause she was sitting next to me. She got up and like moved away. And then after I was like, after that, we both made eye contact. We're like, we need to go.
Wow.
We need to go. Like, let's go. And then after, so we ran to the car. We got into the car, and then he comes out. He's like, yo, like, I'm sorry. We're like, bro, I'm like, start the car. Start the car.
We need to leave now.
I was like, we need to leave. I just got like her. I don't even know what to call it. Like, I was just like, what?
That's fucked. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, like it's my first time hearing this story. I don't even know what to say. That's wild that he tried to put the move on you, and he just fucked it. Man's fucked it.
Where are you finding your dates, by the way?
This wasn't a date.
Yeah,
though.
this
But
wasn't
like,
a
no,
date.
not this. But the last person.
The last guy was on Bumble.
And then, what about the previous ones you're gonna talk about? Any other dates? Mainly any dates that you've been on? What have they been off of? Like, where do you meet these people? Just Bumble?
Yeah, Bumble. Yeah, but the last one is not even a date. It's literally at the gas station. This next one.
This next one is the gas station.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, we're looking at Rawbeauty's blocked Instagram accounts here. She has a lot.
It would be in the beginning, no? When did this date? Oh, okay.
Just blocked all the people from high school.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll do that. It's healthy.
It's very healthy. Yeah.
No, I've done a purge.
I do that.
I've done a purge.
Well, I deleted my personal Instagram.
That's true.
And
Which is
then
probably a good idea.
I blocked everyone that I do not want knowing my name that I use.
Mhm.
And like from high school, everywhere else, like I just like went through Twitter and Instagram and I was like, nope, blocking y'all.
Bye.
That's so sad. I wanted to see what he looked like. While you're looking, do we have another topic on here?
The other topic that I wanted to talk about, well, I mean, it's just like stories. We're just like sharing stories on today's
Oh.
episode. We just had the Triple O story.
Oh my God.
But like, there's
Should
that.
we?
Quickly while she searches.
Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday? Was it yesterday? 2 days ago.
It was 2 days ago. Yeah, because it was about 9:30 at night. It was on the
Yeah.
Saturday. Or it was on the Sunday.
Yeah. So me and Remy go out for burgers. Go to a little drive-thru, get some burgers, you know. And we order our burgers, and then they're like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a 10-minute wait for the second burger." We're like, "Okay," and they don't really have a place to like. I'm just Luna is about to jump on me, so I'm preparing.
She's trying to find a way down.
She's trying to find a way down. So and yeah, they don't have like a place for customers to wait. So then they're like, "Yeah, just park off, you know, sort of like hug the wall, and wait there, and then we'll bring the food out to you."
But it's like it's a little bit of a bend where you can like park off to the right side.
Yeah.
And then cars like can fit through beside you once they go through like the drive-through.
Yeah.
But they don't have like stalls like McDonald's does, like to like wait, like you know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah,
Like they don't
outside
have
for the
those
food.
stalls. Yeah.
It's just like a one way. Like
Yeah.
you come in and you get out all
Yeah.
one way. And yeah, so I like hug the wall as close as I can. And keep in mind I'm driving a van, so relatively, you know, like a decent sized vehicle. And then there's one car behind us.
Not behind. It was. There's a car in the drive-through.
Yeah.
There's I think 2 cars in the drive-through, and then sort of in the middle, the guy pulls out from the drive-through lineup in the middle, and then starts honking at us.
Yeah.
And it was super weird. Like he could have waited in the lineup one because I think he was behind the first person. That's what it was.
Yes, and I'm thinking that they didn't have something he wanted, so he wanted to just leave.
Yeah.
He wanted to just, you know, bypass the cars and then leave out the drive-through.
But there's not room for
There's not room for
3
that.
cars to align.
And then keep in mind, we're still hugging the wall. And so Mans pulls up. He's now in between us and the car that's waiting at the window. And he's honking. He's like, "Move up, man. I want to pass. I want to pass. Move up. I want to pass." And we look back at who's honking, and it's this dude in a fucking smart car.
Keep in mind too that if we moved up, the lane would get smaller.
Exactly.
There wouldn't be any room for him.
We were in the perfect spot.
We were in the perfect spot.
So he starts honking, laying on the horn. Move up, I'm trying to pass. And like I just poked my head out the window and I'm like, dude, you're driving a fucking smart car.
The way he did it, he like goes out the window and he's like, dude, and he like does the hand thing where he like puts his hand out. He's like, you're in a fucking smart car.
Like, you know what I mean? And the space. And then it got even more fucked up because when he does eventually make it through in his smart car, and everyone knows how small a fucking smart car is. Everyone knows how small a fucking smart car is. He gets by, and then the guy who was out the window, who's in a sedan, gets by, and
no
he's laughing.
problem.
And he's laughing at the whole situation because he's like, this guy's a dickhead. He's laughing at the whole situation. Another car comes, and we're still waiting at the wall.
In an SUV.
And they get by fine. So I'm like, what's this guy's deal? He's just screaming.
Bro thought he was in a lifted truck.
You're in a smart car. It takes 2 smart cars to take up one parallel parking spot.
He looked a little big to be in that smart car. Like, I think he just got a little confused.
He was having a bad day.
He probably had to take a fat shit.
Like, come on, man. You're in a smart car. You can squeeze through anything.
Yeah.
You can squeeze through anything. And he's like yelling at us, honking and shit.
And he didn't even try and go between like us and the other car. That other car left and then he went through and was bitching about it. And like, I can't get through. And it's like, man, like that was a mess.
You're in a smart car.
She's going to show me this photo now. And
you found him?
Yeah.
I haven't even seen him either. This is crazy.
That first picture, he kind of looks like 50 Cent. From afar. He's not bad looking. Okay, hi.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Rude as fuck though. She's like, now you get it.
Now you understand. Let's see the picture of him.
Do the shirt. Show him the shirtless one.
Okay, yeah. Wild.
Right?
Okay. Boy built though.
Oh, we talked about this before though. I'm not into ripped men.
No, yeah, we have talked about this.
I don't like fitness guys. Yeah, but here's the thing. So are they. That's the problem.
Or what?
She's like, I'm kind of vain like that. I'm into fitness guys. But I'm like, so are they. Like, that's the problem is they're so like.
They're more into their body than your body.
They're working out, but they're not even working out for you. They're working out for other men. You know why? Gay.
Quank, 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 quank. Breaking news. You're
gay.
Yeah, why do you guys do that? They'll do things to find validation from other guys.
Men,
like they're like, yo, bro, look at my girl. Like, oh, bro, she's hot. It's like, okay, are you dating her for your boys or are you dating her because you like her? Or like, what the heck?
Everything men do to attract women don't actually attract women. They attract men. Like the majority of things that men are doing don't actually attract us. They attract your friends.
You guys, come on. You guys are all gay. Let's. It's 2021. The whole LGBTQ plus collective gang has paved the way. The door is wide open.
Just come out.
Just come on in. Come on in. Door's wide open. The air is beautiful. The sun's always shining. Come on. Yeah, you guys, come on. You guys are gay. It's okay. It's okay. Everyone's a little gay. Just admit it.
Do you want to tell your other story?
All right, we have one more story. Sweet Tooth?
Yeah. Okay. So this other dating disaster. It wasn't even really dating. I was coming back from work. I was 18 at the time. Okay. And I took the bus to and from work. And so I got off the bus and I was like, oh, there's a long weekend coming up. So I was like, let me stop by the gas station and stock up on some snacks so that I can binge, the entire weekend. So I go, as I'm walking, I pass a crosswalk and I'm like halfway through the gas station parking lot. And I hear this guy like, miss, excuse me, miss. And I turn around, I'm like, yes, can I help you? And he's like, oh, I was driving and I just saw you and I had to come talk to you. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, like I was literally driving. I saw you walking across the crosswalk and I literally parked like a block away just to come talk to you. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because ain't nobody done that for me before. Like you were driving
That's true.
and you stopped solely to come talk to me. And like, okay, I'll see what you're about. So mind you, he's this older, like Caribbean man. He's bald. He's wearing all black. He has a goatee. And and he has like a not a thick accent, but like it's there. Like when I first told this story, I remember I literally like the accent was so prominent that like I could do it, but it's been like years now. So, but yeah, so then he's like talking to me. He's like, yeah, so I just saw you look really good. Like I just want to come talk to you. Like you look really nice. Like, and I was like, oh, I was just about to go to KFC. Maybe you can come with me. I'll get you something to eat. And I was like, I'm not. First of all, I'm not going to KFC if you're going to take me out somewhere to eat. Secondly, I don't know you from anywhere. I'm not getting in the car with you.
Mm-hmm.
So then he's like, okay, fine, that's fine. And we start talking, and we're talking for like literally in front of the gas station door. Like we've been talking for like 15 minutes. Like, and he's like, oh, you look really well put together. Like you look nice. So like, let me see your nails. So I hold out my hands to him, and then he's like, yeah, you look really good. I love your nails. Like, are your toes done too? I'm like, no, that's why I'm wearing boots. And then he's like, oh, because me, I'm a feet guy, I love toes, like da da da.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, you're really just laying it on there. Like it's just thick. Like I'm like, I did not need to know your fetish. Like so then and then I'm like, and mind you, I'm not even wearing anything like crazy when he saw me, because he said he saw me, I look so good. Da, da, da. I'm literally wearing boots, jeans, t-shirt, and a leather jacket. Like I'm completely covered, so I don't know what he was seeing, but. So then, yeah, he starts talking to me, and then he's like, oh, and again, he asked me if I'm a virgin. And at the time, I was 18. I did not know anything about dating or anything like that. So I was really telling this man my whole life story. Okay, don't judge me. Okay, but like, yeah, so. No, yeah. So I was 18, and this is the first guy who literally like approached me. So I was literally telling him my whole life story. But yeah. So then after. We're talking, and then it's finally like he's like, oh, were you trying to go into the gas station? I'm like, yeah, you literally stopped me from going in there. Like we've been out here for like 15 minutes. He's like, okay, let's go inside, let me get you something. And I'm like, no, like I can get it myself, and if you're gonna buy me something, it's definitely not gonna be at a gas station. Like if you want to buy me something, let's go to Vancouver, let's go to I don't know, like let's go to Gucci, buy me that purse. Like if you're gonna buy me some. So then we walk into the gas station, and we keep on talking. He's like, so what did you come in here to get? I'm like, oh, I just came to get some candy. He's like, oh, so you got a sweet tooth? I'm like, yeah, I like candy. He's like, yeah, I got a sweet tooth too. And like as he's like looking me up and down and stuff, and I was like, wow, okay. And then he's like, oh, so he's like, tell me about your family. And I'm like, oh, I got 3 older brothers. And he was like, oh, he's like, are you telling me that to like intimidate me? I'm like, nah, I'm just letting you know. And then after he's like, and then he's like, oh, what about your dad? I'm like, yeah, my dad is like pretty strict. And he's like, yeah, I think me and your dad are gonna get along. And then I'm like, what? So then after we get to the gas station, she's like, oh, let me pay for you. And I'm like, no, like I'm gonna pay for myself. So I buy my shit. We walk out, and he holds the door open for me, like from the inside, instead of walking out first and then holding the door open. He's like holding the door for me on the inside, which is really awkward. And then as I'm walking out, he's like, damn, I hate to watch you go, but I love to watch you walk away. It's okay, Remy. Deep breaths. So then we walk out, and then he's like, oh, give me your number. We can go later tonight. We can go to Vancouver. We can people watch. Let's, go down to the beach. And I was like, I don't know you from anywhere. I'm not going with you anywhere. Like, and plus I have to get home. Like the sun is now setting. I got home when the sun was out, and we've been talking for so long that the sun is now setting. Like I'm going home. And he was like, oh, where do you live? Like, where do you live? And I was like, I live close enough. Like I'm gonna walk home. He's like, oh, let me drive you. I don't want you to walk. You got your feet in heels. You must be tired from working all day. And I was like, no, it's okay. I can walk. Like I wore these boots for a reason. Like I can walk in them. And he was like, okay, fine. But give me your number. And I'm the type of person where I don't really hesitate to give people my number unless they're complete like creeps. Then I'm like, I mean, yeah, he was, but like he would like it's hard to explain because like
you're 18.
Yeah, I'm 18, so like I don't know any better. And secondly, he wasn't doing anything that like scared me. Like, cause there was a point in time where he asked me, he's like, do I make you uncomfortable? He was asking if he makes me uncomfortable. And I was like, and I laughed and I said, no, I just think this is hilarious. That's literally what I said. I was like, nah, I just think this is hilarious. And he was like, okay, well, I want you. He's like, oh, how old are you, by the way? I'm like, I'm 18. And he was like, okay. He's like, oh, I like that. And I was like, okay. And then, and then he's like, oh, he's like, do you want to know how old I am? I'm like, sure. And then he was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, I mean, I hope so. I'm like, I hope you're honest. And he's like, yeah, I'm like 45. And I'm like, wow. Like literally, like I was so surprised about his age. Like I was just like,
right there. It's a tonton right there.
Facts. Straight. So then like I was like, hey, that's a little old. He's like, yeah, but you know, I just want to like I can treat you good, you know, blah blah blah. Like you I can do this for you, can do that for you. You know, like I know I don't look that good right now. I just came from the library because I was studying, but you know, I he's like, but I'm really put together, you know, don't even judge me from what I look like now. I just got back from work, but like, you know, I know I can provide for you, da da da. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm gonna go home now. He's like, give me your number. I'm like, okay, sure. So I give him my number. He's like, and then after I walk home, but I'm like speed walking home because like I want to get home before he gets into his car and like tries to follow me. But I think he went the other way, which was good. And then I finally get home and I tell my mom and my sister this story. And then a couple days, wait, I actually forgot the punchline here. Wait, as we were talking, he's like, oh, like he was complimenting me and everything. He was like, he like leaned in to sniff me. He leaned in to sniff me and he was like, oh, what is that? What are you wearing? I'm like, just a couple perfumes and body sprays that I mixed together. And he was like, oh yeah, you smell really nice. You want to know what you smell like? I was like, what? He's like, you smell like sexual sugar. And I was like, sir. I was like, sir, we are in public. You cannot be saying these outlandish things. Like, and then I'm like looking at people. There's people beside us like pumping gas and they're just like looking at me and I'm looking at them like, please help me. Like,
help me.
Like, yeah, like literally help me, nigga. Like like I'm really looking at these people like, somebody please come rescue me from this man. But yeah, so I get home and then a couple days later I tell my mom this story, and then a couple days later she's like, I have a gift for you. I'm like, yeah, what is it? And she gives me a perfume, sexual shit. And I'm like, oh, my mom plays too much. She's so funny. But yeah, it wasn't the perfume sexual sugar, but it was a perfume bisexual, and I just thought that was really hilarious. But it smelled really good. I wear this perfume till this day. So sexual sugar. It was just really weird. And then at the end, he did end up texting me that same night. He was like, oh, did you talk to your parents? Are they gonna let you come out? Like, let me come get you. And then I was like, no, I'm sorry, but like, he started the text by, oh, my chocolate princess, my Nubian queen. And if you know me, like, that is the most like cringiest thing any guy could ever say about a Black woman. Like, do not, and I mean do not, refer to us as food, chocolate, exotic, whatever the case may be. Like, don't do it. Like, you won't know it, but as soon as you say it, that's the last you ever see her. Like, dead ass. So yeah, and he said that, and then he said, well, like, are your parents gonna let you come out? And I was like, no, I'm sorry, you're just way too old for me. Like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. And then, yeah, but it really broke his heart. Like, he didn't respond after that. And he really thought it was the one because he said he wanted to marry me. And it, like, yeah.
Sweet tooth.
Yeah, Mr. Sweet Tooth.
Crazy. Can I talk about going off of sexualizing skin tones? I think that's so funny. I totally understand. Like, I get what you're saying 100%. Like, I don't understand why people do that. Because it's like, would you ever... Would it, I don't know. I don't even know. What would you say? What would you say?
Someone call me chocolate?
No, to like a white girl. Like, you don't think of these things because you just don't say them to white people.
You don't say my vanilla wafer.
I've never called any white woman, yo, yeah, whatever. Like, Ivory, yo, my Ivory queen. No.
Wait,
yeah, no. It's just... my little porcelain
doll. Like,
doll.
You don't say that shit. Like, it's so weird.
That's weird. My little dusty flower.
Yeah, like, like, what my vanilla ice cream.
My little
what
white sugar. That's weird as fuck. Yeah,
it's so weird. It turns me on.
I can't imagine how uncomfortable that must
It was
make you.
so weird. Like literally any like, especially white guys, like anytime I'm on a dating app, that's the first thing they say. It's always, oh, like
you would think
chocolate.
that like a man of color would understand that too, but I guess not.
I mean, men of color also like they also. I mean, I guess to them it's more like an uplifting type thing.
Yeah.
Like especially like if you're paying attention to the media, we like black people like to call each other kings and queens.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you're adding like Nubian or like I'm not Nubian, I'm not from Nubia. Like
just assuming.
Yeah, like what the heck? Like it's just weird. Like so I think it was
because that's like if you were like talking to like a Japanese girl and you're like, oh, my Chinese queen. Like what? What? No.
Like no, like
wrong area.
Yeah, so it's just weird. Like, but yeah, that's the first thing. Like that's the very first things people say. There was like, oh, you're black. I'm white. Let's make an Oreo. Like,
is that a frequent thing?
9 times out of 10, like any, like literally that's the first thing they say. It's like a pickup line or something. And I'm like, as soon as they say stuff like that, I dip out. I'm like, I'm gone. Like
I knew that was a thing. I just didn't know it was a frequent thing.
Like any black girl, any like woman of color who is on more of the brown side, like ask her and she will tell you. Like it's happened so often. It's actually so weird. That's why I don't like to date white guys, because that's the first thing they say.
Darko and I were actually talking about that last podcast. It's like, how do you feel about being a person of color and like dating a white person? Because we were talking about my girlfriend and her experience. She's Indigenous Métis, and like she has a white boyfriend, and some issues arise because he doesn't have any knowledge of her history and her ancestors. And we're talking about like that's super important to understand like those boundaries, those lines, to understand the history, to understand like that it's not just you're dating someone of color. Like there's so much more that goes into it, and you have a responsibility to learn about that person and their culture and their background and their history and their ancestors and what they went through. Yeah. So I don't even like white men. I hate white people.
Facts.
Like it's really funny because like guys, like the white guys will be like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to date a black girl. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like that's fine that you want. Like for me, like I have a thing for Hispanic men. Like I want to date like a Latin man so bad. But like that's fine. Yeah, that you have a preference. But it's like if you do want to date a black woman in the future, like educate yourself, please. Like because if you don't, like she's not gonna train you in order to respect a black woman. Like if you do not come trained, there's no way that she is going to even give you the time of day.
Because it's not their responsibility to do so. Like you've already lived through it. Why do I have to teach you? Like do the work.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that. Okay.
You look tired.
I don't sleep. Let's be honest. These glasses aren't helping me at all. Do you guys want to end the show off with some would you rathers?
Sure.
Because I have some here.
Okay. Shoot.
Okay. First one. Would you rather empty a swimming pool using just a fork or get in a swimming pool for half an hour with a jellyfish?
With one jellyfish? A single jellyfish?
With one jellyfish.
Pool
with the fork.
What?
You empty the pool with a fork.
I would get in the pool.
With a jellyfish.
Yes.
Okay.
Because how like you're going to be there for
life.
Okay. The next one is, I think, Rawbeauty, you have heard some of these too, but would you rather give up sex or give up food?
Food.
Sex.
You
would give up food. You would live off getting fucked.
Yeah, if I could feed me. I'm
giving up sex.
I'm a very sexual person, and I know this. Like I have a really high libido. I have a really high sex drive. That's just how I am. That's how I've always been. I love food so much, but if there's something that I love more than food, it's sex. And if I could survive off of no food
and just have sex,
I'd be skinny and have lots of sex. Love that for me.
Talk about glowing. Talk about glowing. Yeah, no, I would do no sex and give me the food. Give me a couple burgers and I'm chilling.
I mean, I barely even eat, but like but I would give up sex.
I eat a lot.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like
have sex
knowing
a
you,
lot.
but I also have sex a lot. That's what I'm saying. Knowing you are like, yeah, because I at one point thought I had high sex drive too, but then now that I'm practicing celibacy, like, gone, satiated.
Yeah, you're fucked for that. I don't know.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But I think
Good for you.
but I'm doing it. But I'm doing it at the best time possible because I ain't trying to have sex with no one during COVID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have to work with somebody that I have sex with. So
But that's totally different.
it's totally different.
She's in your bubble. She's in your circle.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next question is: would you rather accidentally send a naughty picture to your dad or your boss?
Boss.
Boss.
No brainer.
Because then maybe, could lead to some. You never know.
Don't do what I did.
Oh, word.
Now you have to.
Word.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
Please
elaborate.
What do you mean elaborate?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You can't just, don't do
drop
what
it.
I did and then,
You can't drop it and walk away.
right, like finish it.
What'd you do?
Certain things happened in my life that you guys know about
Yeah.
that are because I don't talk about
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm pointing to things. And
You sent it to your boss.
no, I'm just saying that was my boss's
Okay.
That-
If you know, you
the
know.
whole
If you know, you know.
originally the boss and then moved on and then was the boss again. And then yeah, that's how it happened. It was originally my boss.
Wild.
Yeah. So
Okay.
don't do that.
It sounds nice.
She's just excited. She's
Yeah, on paper, it
Yeah,
sounds
it
pretty
does.
nice.
great on paper. Okay. Would you rather say your ex's name during sex or your partner's best friend's name?
What?
I'm going with ex. I don't want
Partner's best
Best friend's
friend's name. Because then I can just be like, I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. Like,
Wait.
I could like joke around and be like, yeah, let's invite them. Like, as a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the ex is harder to
The X is harder
talk
to,
out.
yeah.
Well,
to
yeah, you
get
can just
yourself out.
cover it up with like, oh, let's invite them. But then what if they insist on it? Then
Then I'm down.
okay.
That's why she said it in the first place. Yeah. Damn. This depends on how good my partner's best friend's name is. See, but that's the thing.
I said this before. Like, I don't know about saying names during sex. To me, that's just a little bit weird.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
She was
Like,
saying this. She was saying this.
I don't know. Like, it doesn't matter what your name is, especially guy names. Guy names are really weird to say during sex. Like, oh my God, Jason. Like,
Yeah, you just gotta stick with daddy. That's it.
You just-
that's so cringe to me.
that's the go-to. That's the go-to. Just
yeah, if
daddy?
you forget the name,
just
just
If
daddy.
you forget the name.
Well, if you don't,
Women forget the name too, guys.
no, but like 100%, I'd rather have like, yeah, like I don't really like saying the names out loud.
Yeah.
It feels forced.
Yes,
It
very
definitely
much
feels
forced. Because then
I have never said a woman's name in bed.
But I've heard like people say my name in bed. I'd say it like people, all the people that are in my bed at the same
multiple
time.
People, yeah, the multiple people.
When I'm in bed with somebody and they do say my name during sex, it is a different experience. It's really
For
like
sure.
I kind of love it.
oh, okay. I was gonna ask.
Because has it ever happened to you?
No.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know because you know when someone's talking to you and they sit like just in conversation and they say your name, like specifically, it grabs your attention. It feels like they're really pulling you in. So when it happens in bed, it's actually like really cool. So I understand, but like at the same time, I don't like calling people by their name, but I like when
People do it to
double
you.
standard.
Yeah, double standard. Yeah, do it to me, but I won't do it to you. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Okay. Would you rather be funny but really stupid or boring but really smart?
Oh,
I'd
okay.
rather be funny and stupid.
I'd rather be smart. I mean, yeah, smart.
I'd rather be funny and stupid as fuck. Like
'Cause we
that
already
dumb
there, honey.
friend. What? What did you say?
I said because we're already there.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't thinking. I think I'm pretty smart, but all right. Thank you. Fucking hell. Ouch.
At least we're there
Speak
together.
for your fucking self.
All right, I'm stupid.
No. No, give yourself more credit. You're a smart man. You got himbo energy, though. You got big himbo energy.
Explain. Himbo.
What? You guys don't know what himbo is?
I've heard this before.
It's like bimbo.
Yeah.
But for men.
Yeah,
but
himbo.
but here's the thing. Himbo doesn't
wearing a
mean you're
bonnet.
actually like a bimbo. And bimbos don't actually mean that either. It's kind of like Legally Blonde thing. Like she was a bimbo, but she's fucking smart.
as fuck.
But she comes across as that. And certain things like topics and stuff, it's like, okay, dummy, like get your shit together. But they're like hot, usually like big guys and like dumb, but actually intelligent. Like himbos respect women and have a lot of intelligence in that sense. But they're still, they got a little bit of that bimbo energy. Himbo's a good thing. That's a compliment, 100%.
I'm leveling up. This is another glow. I'm a fucking himbo.
That means you're fucking sexy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a big, see, like golden retriever. Like golden retrievers are so fucking dumb, but they're actually really smart and they learn really quickly, but they're so high energy and they're like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like golden retrievers are
I
himbos.
Feel like
and
I have to like somehow redeem my comment about calling you stupid. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah. What do you want to call me?
You're not stupid.
Thank you.
You're on this podcast. You're the smartest person on this podcast.
Oh,
No,
okay.
literally.
You're reaching.
No. I learned so much from Remy on this podcast.
This is a pity.
Every time we show up to record an episode, I learned so much from Remy. No, this is serious. Let's be honest.
Oh, are you being real?
Let's be honest.
Okay.
Let's just have a moment.
Okay.
Let's be honest. You teach me a lot on this podcast.
Oh, that's really nice.
See, there you go.
Thanks.
Moment. Thank you for sharing this moment with us.
Yeah.
Next, would you rather?
I was gonna... She goes, I need to burp, and then I hand her the microphone.
Here,
I don't know why
burp
that
here.
was my
Burp
first
here.
instinct.
Burp into the mic. Burp into the microphone.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, I would have.
Oh, this is a good one. Would you rather let a crusty old man drink milk out of your belly button every day for a year, or drink milk out of a crusty old man's belly button every day for a month? He drinks out of yours for a year. You drink out of his for a month. Which one are you going with? And it's like every day, same time, he shows up. Here's the milk.
Yeah, I'd have to go for the month thing.
You drink out of his for a month.
A month over a year? Like, I get that he's drinking out of mine for a year, but a month, like, it's way less time than a fucking year. I couldn't handle that. I don't have time to schedule you coming over so you can drink milk from my belly button. A month is already too much. We're on what, podcast 6? I'm exhausted. What do you want me to say? Like,
That's true.
no.
I already answered this before, but
Yeah, we said for milk.
the year one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Because at least I'm not
long
drinking.
schedule
Yeah.
ahead of you.
No, he
No,
has
I
to
don't
come
want
to
to do
me.
it. That's gross.
He has to come to me. It's my belly button
Yeah.
that he needs to drink out of. Find me.
Yeah, you come find me.
Find me?
Yeah, I'm out living my life. But you know that you got to come drink the milk out of my belly button. Come drink the milk, bro.
I will find you. I will kill you.
And I will drink the milk
Like,
from
you
your
need your
belly
fix.
button.
Come get your fix. Like, I'm not going
Come
to
get your
stop my
fix.
life for you.
I'm nasty. You got another one?
I got more.
Okay.
I got more. Would you rather your partner be kinky or romantic?
Kinky all the way.
Really? Not romance? I take you for a romance girl.
I'm going to go romantic.
See, here's the thing. This is a hard one for me. Because I like to think that I love romance. Because I honestly, I've never been romanced.
You've never been romanced?
No.
Tickled and danced?
I don't like to be tickled, but
That's true. You
we've
don't
talked
like
about
it.
this. I
Yeah.
hate being tickled.
I
It's like
don't
my
like
word.
it.
Yeah, it's ugly. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been properly romanced.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like kinky, the way that I like, I would have to be, yeah. I'd have to
kinky.
choose kinky as well.
Knowing you kinky.
Oh,
You'd go kinky.
and
No,
what?
I said knowing you would go with the kinky part.
Oh, okay.
instead of
They're like, no, you're kinky. The way you said it. The look on his face. What would you pick?
romantic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love romance, and I'll read a lot of romance novels, but like, I feel like it's.
Do you read Wattpads?
I don't read Wattpads, but I read like the like the actual abridged books, like like audiobooks and stuff. Oh my god, you have to get into audiobooks if you haven't. It's a whole nother door.
You can send me some stories that you've read that you like.
Okay, I'll send you the best ones.
Okay. Like, I don't care how far out they are.
Oh,
Send them to me. Like, you have no idea the shit that I read. Like, send them. Oh my god, I'm so excited now. Ooh.
I was listening to the podcast where you're talking about Wattpads, and literally the entire time I was like, yes, exactly, yes, exactly. I was like, she feels me, and I was so
funny. You know what the best part is? Is like the enemies to lovers. Like, who did this to you? And she gets up and walks away. That's my favorite one.
I love that. I don't know why I've always had this thing about like guys who are like jerks to the girls, but then after end up falling in love. I don't know why. Maybe I want it to happen in my life one day. Like, I don't know, but I love it. I love it.
It's just embedded in us to be that way. But yeah, I love reading about that. Like mafia men, and you're like getting trapped by like everything that's going on, and then like it's like real kinky, and then like somebody else that like they're fighting like hurts you, and they're like, who did this? And then they like fuck you. Yeah.
Should I just leave? What? Should I just leave? I feel like you guys. This is the
podcast. For another podcast.
This is the podcast now.
We make our own podcast about stories we've read. That's a good idea. Man, I'm going to have to do a lot of scheduling. I'm already doing one podcast. I'm going to have two.
You're going to have two podcasts.
Good idea.
All right. Another podcast has been created today.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Okay, for sure. Would you rather be dominant or be dominated?
Dominated.
Dominated.
Yeah, that's a given. After what just transpired.
Okay, but for my work, I am a switch. Here's the thing: I love to be dominated by men who have confidence, but men who are little sissy bitches, I love dominating them and turning them into pay pigs. That is my absolute favorite thing to do. That is a part of my job. It is a two-way street. It's not one-sided. Just so you know, it is very consensual. But I do love that. I also have a thing for dominating women. I don't think I've ever had women really dominate me. So that's my shit. What about you?
I don't know. I think I'm torn. I'm torn between the two. I would, cause like.
Would you be open to
being dominated?
Yeah.
I'm down.
But like how far? Like, are you thinking vanilla kinky or are you thinking like kinky? Like vanilla.
Vanilla kinky, like just basic. I don't know, because here's the thing.
Because there's like,
I haven't experienced it, so I don't know. And I don't know what.
Because there's like, like I'll pin you down, get on top, like, choke you kind of thing.
Sure.
But then there's like, like you're getting pegged.
That's what I'm saying. That's like all the way up there. And like, who knows?
I like the honesty. Yeah.
Who knows, man? Like, you know what I mean? Never say never. Justin Bieber featuring Jaden Smith.
Oh, okay.
Never say never.
I will fight through forever.
Make it right.
Na, 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 na.
Exactly. So never say never. But yeah, I don't know. I'm torn between the two. Open to whatever. Ladies, if you're listening, let me know. We can work something out.
I'm listening.
Remy's listening.
Two best friends in a room. They might kiss.
Yes, they will. What? We will. He's never heard the audio, so he's like, "What?"
I don't know the audio, but I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay, last one.
Okay.
Last one. I just had it here. Come on. Okay. Would you rather have sex in the shower or on the kitchen table?
Kitchen table.
Kitchen table.
Table.
Fuck shower sex.
Fuck shower sex. It's so
Fuck
built
shower
up for
sex.
what? I'm 5'2". Every man is taller than me. That shit's so uncomfortable. I'm on my tippy toes. My back hurts. My knees
shower
hurt.
sex.
My fucking neck hurts.
My neck, my back, my pussy,
My pussy and my crack. It's literally my crack because I'm not tall enough to fucking reach it.
You just fucking my crack now. That's all.
We were looking at real estate, and every like luxury house now has the little ledges in the showers, and I was saying that is like perfect for shower sex.
Like the seats, like the the one, like the stand up ones with the seats.
It's like built into the shower. So like you know how the
ledges,
shower is
yeah.
like tile. This like a ledge that comes out that is tile. It's like a bench, a whole bench in the shower, made out of tile. It's like part of the shower.
You guys want to invest in a house together?
Strictly for sex in the shower.
Yeah. You can get like a nice like 3-suite house. Do the investment, like we each have our own areas of the house, but they all have like really nice showers. That's actually smart to do. I wish I had more friends to invest in a big house with, like, or a big property to just build a bunch of houses on.
This is what I tell the homies that live in cultists. I'm like, we just need to buy a big commune. We'll like start a commune of friends, and
then it turns into a cult. It's a whole thing.
No, you draw the line.
Okay, let's talk about this on the next podcast.
You draw a line. Okay, Rawbeauty, this is your chance to plug yourself to millions of listeners listening all over the world, from here all the way to Japan. They're all listening.
Y'all reaching Japan?
Sure.
Yeah, what's that other place that you're apparently from?
Oh, Nubia.
Yeah, exactly. Nubia, all the way to even to the Caucasus Mountains.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere. It reaches the highest heights of the Caucasus Mountain.
All right.
Go ahead, plug your YouTube channel.
Well,
People can get
if
more of your
y'all
stuff.
enjoyed my little story times today, y'all should tune in to my YouTube channel so y'all can hear the full story, because I go into detail. And if you like long stories, then you'll like my channel. So Rawbeauty22, tune in.
I'm gonna subscribe. I didn't know she had a YouTube channel.
Subscribe.
I'm in it.
More than just a good voice, a great storyteller. Rawbeauty. All right. That concludes another episode. This episode was all over the place. And
It's
I
fun.
Love it.
I enjoyed it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. Thank you for having me. Also, it might have also been the Red Bull, but
she was pumped.
but I had a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, the seat is always open. Always forever open. Once you're on the show, once forever open.
Okay, well, let me know if you guys are gonna talk about books and stuff. Because
no, that's your own podcast.
I want to be there.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to do like a one where we kind of like do a synopsis of like the stories that we've told and like what if you would read it kind of thing. I think that would be a good idea. We'll make it fun for all of us, so you're not just sitting there.
Well, like, I mean,
pretty.
Again, thanks. Yeah, but like,
being smart.
Thanks.
Little himbo.
Yo, I'm a himbo.
He's blushing. Look at Darko blushing over there. I mean, he's dark skinned, but like I can see the blush.
Yeah, I'm a motherfucking himbo. Refer to me as such. Yeah. All right, but like, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for that idea. I'm down for that. I'm open to it. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this moment experience with us.
Drink your water. Drink your chlorophyll.
Chlorophylls. Just go get vaccinated.
Moisturize. Get vaccinated. I did it.
I did it. You can too.
Basically.
Do all that. Do all the stuff. Stay healthy. Stay blessed.
Also, I heard that during the pandemic, people don't wash their legs, so wash the lower half of your body.
Yo,
please.
Quickly before we end the show, motherfuckers
wash your feet
washing,
and your legs. Like actually wash them. Don't let the
the
water run
lower
down.
Half of your body?
And also make sure you do the rotisserie in the shower. Don't just wash the front of your body. Make sure you rotate fully 360 degrees. Okay. Please.
Motherfuckers dirty.
Matter of fact, do a handstand. Wash your fucking asshole. Just get in the gooch. Get in there.
Motherfuckers are dirty.
Let the water run in between those booty cheeks, okay?
Don't even let it run. Get in there.
Get the washcloth.
Find your butthole. Find it.
Dudes, find your asshole.
Because we can smell it.
All right. Dirty motherfuckers.
And that's all.
Dirty motherfuckers.
Oh, nasty.
Shut the fuck up! You bully! You fucking mosquito bully!